about to enter the world of the Rush. Prepare yourself to experience the ultimate in power, the ultimate in force, the ultimate in rush. The Chicago Rush. It's the 50-yard indoor war where the weak do not survive. Arena football is coming to you Chicago style. In 2002, the Rush gave a rude awakening to the defending AFL champion Rampage by sweeping both meetings. Tonight, the Rush would like to see that trend continue as Grand Rapids currently sits atop the Central. Will it be a grand night for the dynamic duo of Ladd and Chapman, or will the Rampage continue to charge towards the second Arena Bowl championship? An interdivision rivalry is on tap, and you don't want to miss it. It's Chicago and Grand Rapids next.
From a sold-out Van Andel Arena here in Grand Rapids, welcome to Chicago Rush football on Fox Sports Net. It's tonight the Rush on the road. A division opponent take on Grand Rapids. John Yurkovich alongside. I'm Tom Dorr and Yurko. As we're getting bombarded by footballs here, the Rush need a win on the road, and what they need to do is take care of the ball.
They do need to take care of the ball. They have to take care of it so much they went out and bought themselves no turnovers shirt to put a point of emphasis on the fact that you have to protect the ball, and that hopefully the offense will be able to do. Twice as many turnovers this year as last year, and you can see how the turnover ratio being at a -9 gives them a 3-5 record. They're working to improve that today.
The guy who has been terrific for this team is AC Antonio Chapman.
And Antonio Chapman struggled early, but he's come on of late, and he's coming on in all facets of the game. 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns, and he's been able to return them for a 27-yard average and bring it out to midfield and give them real good field position starting off on half.
This guy has been great. When you look around the league at what he's done, all-purpose yards, he's first, kickoff returns, he's first, yardage, he is just absolutely outstanding. But Grand Rapids has a couple guys that are pretty good too. Let's start with their quarterback, Clint Dozell. This guy can throw the ball.
Oh, Dozell can throw the ball, and he can throw it from every position. On the run, pedaling backwards, going left, going right, under pressure. He's a phenomenal quarterback, and Terrell Shaw's the guy he's going to try to get the football to. 21 touchdowns. He's the main threat, and we don't have Cedric Walker defensively to put a shot on him, so good luck.
All right, the Rush set to take on the Rampage. Stick around. Kickoff's coming up.
So we are set, the fans are rocking, and the Chicago Rush are ready to do battle with the Central Division rival Grand Rapids Rampage. Next. Chicago Rush Arena Football is brought to you by Allstate Insurance. The right hands make all the difference. Fifth Third Bank, working hard to be the only bank you'll ever need. Dominic's, offering you quality, selection, and value. Health South, the official healthcare provider of the Chicago Rush. And by Gino's East in Rosemont, home of Chicago's highest scoring deep dish pizza.
Welcome back to Grand Rapids. Chicago Rush just about set to take on the Rampage. Mike Hohensee alongside. This is the Coach Hohensee Show. And Coach, first of all, back to last week. I know that had to be a disappointing loss to New York, a ball club that you felt like you'd get a win against.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You know, we came up a little short at the end. I think, you know, that was a situation you want to be in. The ball in your hands at the end, either tie or win the game. And unfortunately, the game didn't turn out the way we wanted it. But we had a good week of practice this week. And I think the main thing we're fighting right now is confidence. You know, with all the injuries that we've had, going through 3 quarterbacks, 3 DSs, 3 kickers, things like that. Is being confident in the guy next to you, knowing he's going to be able to do his job. We can overcome that. I think we'll be okay.
Now, I think the good thing is that you come in here to Grand Rapids this week, a chance to win and really be right back in the conference race.
No doubt about it. I mean, we still have Grand Rapids twice. You know, they're 5-3, we're 3-5. They've lost 3 of their last 5. I think we've won 3 of our last 5. So it's kind of 2 teams going in different directions. Hopefully we can keep going the winning ways.
Anything in particular from the past couple weeks that you've seen that you tried to work on this week?
Nothing really in particular. I think the biggest thing is to take care of the football. I think we're minus 10 or 11 in the turnover margin, and that's been a big part of our losses. And the players actually went out on their own and with their own money and got Chicago Rush T-shirts with no turnovers on the back. So there is an emphasis this week in taking care of the football.
Also, last year and the last couple of years, you guys were better at forcing the takeaways, at getting more footballs. Anything in particular you see there?
Well, I think we're still in a good position to get those turnovers. We just haven't haven't gotten them. We've dropped a lot of interceptions. There's been loose balls on the ground that we've caused. We just haven't been able to get those things in our hands and take advantage of it to get those extra possessions that we've been giving other teams.
All right, Coach. Have a great day today. We'll talk to you after a win.
Thank you very much.
It's head coach Mike Hohensee, the Chicago Rush, set to take on Grand Rapids. We'll come back. Kickoff is coming up next. Back here at Van Andel Arena in Grand Rapids, sold out arena. This is their first home game in a month, so they are excited here, to say the least. Our head coaches today for the Rush, Mike Hohensee, his 10th year, 63-61. Man has been very successful in this league. And for Grand Rapids, Mike Trigg, his 9th year, and he's got a couple more wins than head coach Hohensee does, 67.
Both of these guys chasing each other in victories.
Oh,
Mike's chasing Trigg, trying to catch up to him. Hopefully he catches up to him tonight.
We just had the toss of the coin, and the Rush won the toss and elected to receive. Yurko, that's a little different than what they've done in the past.
Usually they elect to defer. They want the ball in the second half, but they're hoping to get off to a good start today. They've struggled as of late. They want to get the ball. They want to score touchdowns, not settle for field goals. Let's see if the Rush can find a way to get the ball in the end zone early.
You saw former Northwestern kicker Brian Gowans there just a second ago. Good guy, Brian Gowans. There he is. You and I had a chance to visit with him before the game. I was kidding him, giving him a tough time. He was kind of hoping to be kicking for the Rush this year, but it just didn't quite work out.
It never works out quite the way you want to. It'd be nice and convenient for Gowans to be kicking for the Rush. But that's the way things work out, and he'll be kicking to Antonio Chapman, who has been hot of late, absolutely on fire for the Chicago Rush. 2 returns for a touchdown, and he's been giving the Rush excellent field position on kickoff return.
All right, fans. We're just about set for the kickoff. There's Brian. You know, he'd kick about, when you and I were watching him, giving him a tough time, by the way, he would kick about 4 good ones, and then he would absolutely hook one that would not even make it to the goal line and go into the stands.
Yeah, up in the stands, they couldn't even find the footballs after he
that's right. There was one of them, they still don't know where it is. That's right.
And don't look for him to get much above halfway into the net, but those kicks that just kick near the steel portion, the cage portion of the netting, that netting is real tight there. Look for that to ricochet right out and cause some problems for the returner.
Bonner is the short man, high end over end, just what you talked about, and it just did make it underneath the crossbar. The Rush will have it, 1st and 10 at their own 5-yard line. Last week, Billy Dickin, the quarterback for the Rush, didn't have what you'd call a week to remember. 17 of 37, 4 touchdowns, good number, but he also fumbled once very late, and that ended up being the ball game.
Billy took a lot of chances last week going downfield early. 6 of the first 10 passes going toward the end zone, 40-yard passes and above. Just didn't connect early in the game.
Those front 3, pretty good for Grand Rapids. Fleshman, the man in motion. Billy steps out, throws, and Flesh has got it across the 10 at about the 11-yard line. Gain of 5, call it 2nd and 5.
3rd game in a row that Billy Dickin decides Lindsey Fleshman's going to be his go-to receiver on the first play.
Our starters for the Rush, Frank Moore, James Bear, and John Moyer on the line. Wide receivers, Chapman, Fleshman, Damian Porter, and Bob McMillan. And, of course, Billy Dickin, the quarterback. Actually, where they're going to mark forward progress, it's a gain of about 7, make it 2nd and 3. Fleshman comes to the middle of the field, then comes back, and Bob McMillan moves.
Second play of the game has been tough for Bob McMillan. Last week, Bob McMillan fumbles on the second play of the game. This week, illegal procedure. You see Billy calling out the signals, trying to cause an offsides penalty, which would be an automatic first down this time. A little illegal procedure for Bob McMillan.
For Grand Rapids, they have a huge defensive line. The big guys, Doggett, Ricks, and Brown up front with Marshall and Avery, the linebackers. They're DBs. Corey Mayfield, the guy that can really make it happen. Up front for them. Here we go. Billy fades back, has all kinds of time. Steps up, throws, it's caught. Bonner's got it. Tries to make a move and get away, and almost gets to the first down. He'll be just shy of the 15-yard line, which is the mark. So it'll be 3rd and 1.
Cecil Doggett, one of the better defensive specialists in the league. He gets up on Fleshman, just taking a look. Keeps him inside, makes him stutter step, doesn't let Bonner get to the first down. Here, Cornelius just trying to find a way to get to the first down marker. Doggett breaks down and lets Pursuit come behind and make the tackle short of the first down.
We said this is a huge front line for Grand Rapids to try and make a first down rushing out. Chapman is the motion man, comes around the right side. Billy fades back, throws, and AC's got it enough for a first down just across the 20-yard line. First down for the Rush.
Right in front of Lamar Grant, a nice conservative route just to AC. AC, the deep threat for the Chicago Rush. Everybody's going to be protecting themselves on the deep threat. So anytime you curl them up, you're going to find them wide open, and Billy did.
Bonner goes wide to the left. Fleshman is a slot man, and Chapman is wide to the right. Fleshman's the guy that's moving. He comes up to the line of scrimmage. Quick throw. Bonner's got it. Bonner gets a gain of 5 and fumbles the football, and the Rush had it for a second. I don't know if Bob McMillan kept it. Yes, the official says it's Rush football. Wow, James Barron just starts reaching in and pulling guys out of there. Did you see that? Barron just reached in with his right paw and grabbed somebody out of the way.
And I'm glad he did, because when that ball is loose, you have problems. Now, Bonner gets the ball, decides he's bouncing off tackle, cuts back inside. That's when you're most dangerous, and you have to protect the ball. The ball is the ultimate issue. Bonner springs out. The ball ends up on the carpet. McMillan looks like he has to cover the ball twice. He's got it, and then it kind of bounces out on it, and he fights his way in the middle of that pile. And crazy things happen in the pile, but McMillan comes up with it.
Gain of 9, second and a short yard. Billy fades back, looks, throws, and Lindsey Fleshman never looked back. That pass went behind him. It would have been enough for a first down. Now it's 3rd and literally about maybe a foot, maybe less.
The offense has misfired early in games, and sometimes it's been a little bit of miscommunication. On that play it was. Fleshman doesn't turn around, and fortunately for the Rush, they're not victimized because of it. That ball could be tipped up, or that ball could just happen to fall into the hands of a defender. That time it didn't, so the Rush should feel fortunate.
Chapman goes wide to the far side. Fleshman is the motion man. Billy fades back, looks, lobs one for Fleshman, and he has got it. Touchdown and a late flag. Forget the flag, a touchdown and a great catch by Lindsey Fleshman.
It's what we didn't see last week, was the timing on these pass patterns just wasn't there. This time Fleshman realizes he has man-to-man coverage. Dickon also recognizes they just head toward the end zone north-south. Fleshman comes down with the football in the end zone.
Defense number 14, the penalties declined, touchdown.
Either way, it was going to be a touchdown for the Chicago Rush, but Lindsey Fleshman shows concentration to come down with that ball in the end zone.
Keith Gispert is back after being hurt. He had a bad left knee, but now he is back. Chad Salisbury is the holder. Snap back, it wasn't very good. Here's the kick, and it wasn't very good as well. We'll take a timeout. Missed it wide right. 6-0 Rush. 10:27 left in the first. This is Chicago Rush football. Back in Grand Rapids, where the Rush got the first touchdown. They lead at 6-0 on that first possession, and now ready to kick off. Keith Gispert back deep to receive. Terrell Shaw and Willis Marshall. Ricky Ross, the guy that had been getting most of their kickoff returns.
Marshall dangerous. He has 2 returns for touchdowns this year. 2 consecutive games. The way the ball bounces off the net, really, if you could upset the timing on the kickoff returner and on Marshall, you give yourself the advantage, and that's where Gispert is so good.
The official football supplier of the Arena Football League.
Rush has been pretty good at kickoff coverage this year. Just had the one bad game. And here comes the kick. High end over end. Goes through the uprights, bounces and goes back, and that's exactly what you want. Clint Dolezal last week, pretty good. 29 of 43, 6 touchdowns, and just 1 INT. This is a guy that can really throw the football.
And that's pretty much just a normal game for him.
Right.
6 touchdowns, you're usually looking at 8 to 10 touchdowns out of a Dolezal. And just watch in amazement the way this guy's going to be able to fire the ball from all angles.
Steve Smith will be the motion man. Willis Marshall is on the same side. Dolezal fakes, looks, throws right over the middle. Smith is wide open across midfield and into rush territory. And a late flag.
Tackle made by Marvin Taylor.
And I think this may go against Grand Rapids. This was after the play was over.
Right here, Cornelius Bonner on the line trying to get a shot on Steve Smith as he leaves, but doesn't get much of a shot, and he finds the void in the zone, catches the ball, moves forward 10 yards.
This will be a big one against Grand Rapids.
Unsportsmanlike on the offense, number 91, 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. Still first down.
Corey Mayfield called for the penalty. 6'2", 348 pounds of him. He was going after James Barron.
And Mayfield, a former teammate of mine down with the Jacksonville Jaguars, has been playing arena football for 4 years. This is a defensive lineman. That's the type of mentality he uses. He gets on the offensive side. All he's going to do is hold, and he's going to be one of those guys. He's an antagonist, so he's going to be trying to get in the head of James Barron all day.
Trip receivers to the near side. Dolezal fades back, looks, throws, and it's caught. Steve Smith will make the catch just shy of the 25. The offense for the Rampage. The big guys in the middle, Manuel Goldston and Mayfield. Corey Mayfield again is a large one. Their specialists, Terrell Shaw, Steve Smith, Willis Marshall, and their fullback is Chris Avery. He's no small one. 6 foot 238, about as big as a fire plug.
Yeah, fire plug, fullback guy type that holds onto the ball. And once you get inside the 5-yard line, he's going to find a way to punch it in the end zone.
Shaw and Marshall go to the near side. Now it's going to be trips to the near side. Shaw, the motion man. It is a give to that big fullback, and he is going to get across the 25 near the first down mark. Tackle made by Riley Klein-Hesselink. Played for a while in Europe. Klein-Hesselink right there with James Barron and John Moyer. Barron has been the Defensive Player of the Year a couple times in the league. Cornelius Bonner, Damian Porter, Lindsey Fleshman, and Bob McMillan. Trip receivers to the right side. Terrell Shaw is there. They've gone trips a bunch. The give to the fullback, fumble, and the rush have it. John Moyer picks it up. The rush get it right near midfield.
And Moyer, the unblocked player on that play, recovers the fumble. The play previous to that, solid defensive play, doesn't get hooked. But here Moyer, he's on the bottom of the screen. It's just a handoff to the fullback. He hits his own offensive lineman, Aaron Goldstein, in the back. The ball pops out, and the unblocked player, Moyer, the kid from Eastern Illinois University, the Panther. Well, you got to love the way those kids play defensive line.
I knew you'd bring up Eastern Illinois. Anthony Ladd in the ball game for the Rush. He's got at least 1 touchdown in the last 7 straight games. Does a little square out there, looking long, and that one's intercepted. Doggett has picked it off. He brings it out to the 5 and jumps out of bounds at about the 13-yard line. Billy just hung that up to dry.
He hung it up to dry. Doggett was on a receiver on the near side of the field, and he's playing defense. That's all. He's on a shallow receiver, but once he sees the crossing pattern, he gets into it and gets his depth and finds a way to come under the ball, and he just hung it out. You need to rifle that ball in there when you have a chance. And Cecil Doggett makes the great defensive play, but did not hang it up there. Billy Dickon made a mistake. There it is. That ball's got to be rifled. It's got to be on a line shot, and it needs to hit him on the hash mark, not so much in the corner of the end zone.
Trip receivers to the left side. That's the short side of the field. Near side, now man in motion is Terrell Shaw, goes to the wide side. Dolezal fades back. Steps up, throws, and they say it was caught. I thought he had dropped it. Yeah, incomplete. The official that was right there on the play didn't make a move, but the other official in the middle of the field said incomplete.
Yeah, the umpire's the one that makes the signal. Jeff Carr, he's the one that had the angle on it, and he saw it right away, and he starts blowing the whistle for incomplete. But the official on the sideline has to come with that call. Dalzell looking all over the field, not looking that way, and I see the official almost thought that he was in the way, and he was trying to get out of the way of the football.
But he's standing right there.
You need to make the call.
My goodness.
Football hits the ground, you need to be able to see
It's
that.
incomplete. Trip receivers to the wide side, and movement. The offensive line and defensive line both moved. Let's see if they call that on Rod Manuel or on John Moyer. I thought Manuel moved first, but we'll have to wait and see. They're looking at John Moyer. Yep, it's going to be against Chicago.
Prior to the snap, defense, encroachment, number 99, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, we talked about turnovers at the beginning of the game. A caused turnover, even though it was Chris Avery who hit his own guy and fumbled the ball, but Moyer recovers. And now, with the emphasis on no turnovers, Billy Dickens throws one right into the hands of Cincinnati again.
Willis Marshall goes to the wide side along with Steve Smith. Shaw goes to the near side. The short side. Dalzell is going to be sacked and sacked hard at about the 17. The rush got there. John Moyer and James Barron among others. And that's just what the rush are going to want to do, is put a lot of pressure on Dalzell.
That's going to go down as a defensive line sack. But Kalani at the top of the screen takes the wide receiver, his third choice for Clint Dalzell, and he pushes him into the boards and pins him up there. And when Dalzell comes back to take a look at him, he can't find him. So it's going to go down as a defensive line sack, but the coverage caused that sack.
Smith and Marshall are on the wide side of the field. Motion man is Smith. He is not the man they throw it to. Instead, it goes to Terrell Shaw on the short side of the field, and he's got enough for a first down.
And the pressure's getting there on Dalzell, and he didn't have enough time to find a wide open Steve Smith streaking down the field, but did find Terrell Shaw running on the far side of the football field, enough for a first down, and he didn't have first down yardage. Kalani needs to come up, break down to help make that tackle.
5 minutes left here in the first quarter. 6-0 Rush with the lead. Again, Shaw is on the short side of the field. Smith and Marshall on the wide side. Now Shaw comes. It's trips to the wide side. Dalzell quick throw. And he is looking for somewhere, and there is nowhere to go. A great stop on the play by Marcus McKenzie, who just nailed Steve Smith.
The pursuit from the inside, Damian Porter being cut by Marshall, but he still keeps outside leverage, forces the runner back inside, and that's where Marcus McKenzie made some with a crushing head. I don't know so much if we call that a crushing head as much as he enveloped Marshall right on the play.
Kind of lost Marshall there for a minute.
Yeah, just kind of got lost in the mix of it all.
The girth of the man.
Ooh, girth is a good word.
Dalzell fades back, quick throw, caught. He is in for the touchdown. Terrell Shaw caught it, made a move to the inside, and drops in for the touchdown. He beat Marvin Taylor.
Too much room, giving him a lot of space. Just a little curl pattern right in front, and then Terrell Shaw not as elusive as Antonio Chapman, but he's got enough shake and bake where he can find a way to get open, and there's Marvin Taylor needs to make the play.
Brian Gowans comes in for the extra point.
They're missing a man, the Grand Rapids Rampage. He's running on the field. Albert Reese. Forgot he was on the extra point team.
Well, it can happen. Snap back ball down, and the kick is blocked. Jamie McGurty blocked it. How about that? A nice job. McGurty came right up the middle, gets the block, and we'll take a timeout. Jamie's coming into your living room to block this one, and we're tied at 6. This is Chicago Rush football. Rush tied with the Rampage at 6-all here at 3:18 left in the first. The broadcast rights for this event have been granted to Fox Sports Net and Radio Disney by the Chicago Rush. Any reproduction or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Fox Sports Net, Radio Disney, and the Chicago Rush Arena football franchise is strictly prohibited. Kalani is the short man, Chapman the deep man, and this is a very returnable kick. Chapman's got it. Brings it out along the right side, makes a move. He gets out to the 15, out to about the 17, and a flag goes down. Thrown right at the feet of Marcus McKenzie.
It's usually a good indicator where the holding penalty is going to be on when they tag you with it.
When they hit you with the flag, it's a bad sign, right? Official will walk it off.
Holding on the receiving team, number 77. After this is the goal, first down.
Marcus was the guy that they caught.
And usually the holding penalty, they're pretty liberal with it, but there he is. The minute you're starting to hold the guy that has a chance at the tackle, Jason Gamble lunges himself out. Marcus McKenzie just gets exposed to the hole.
Kalani goes wide to the far side, along with Chapman. Now Ladd is the motion man. Comes back to the left side. Billy fades back, quick look, throws. Chapman had it, dropped it, and then got it again. Out to about the 9-yard line or so. Let's call it a gain of 3, make it 2nd and 7.
He ran that little flat route, Antonio Chapman. The ball bounces off his chest, and Ricks from the Rampage almost there, ready to pounce on anything that's available to him. Chapman brings it in and moves forward for 4 yards. It's tough here. What's Coach Hohensee going to do? Do you build Billy Dickens' confidence and go a bunch of short patterns, or do you say, hey, I trust you, and let's go long again?
Well, he said that they would throw long, but because Grand Rapids does a good job at changing up their defenses, it can be difficult to do. Ladd with it across the 20. That's enough for a first down. On the play, Corey Mayfield anticipated the snap, made a great move, and got to Billy Dickens, but Billy still able to complete the pass.
And we talked about Mayfield being a defensive lineman by trade. He comes in unblocked on the perimeter. McGurdy responsible for the cut block. Well, you can't miss a 358-pound guy like that. You've got to be able to find him, and McGurdy's got to be able to take his head across the near side, his right leg, and then sweep his leg and force Mayfield out to the perimeter.
Trip receivers to the near side. Chapman is the motion man, and it is a give to McGurdy. Comes around the right side. He's rumbling up the field. Jamie McGurdy with a nice gain. They'll put him in Grand Rapids territory at about the Grand Rapids 22-yard line.
The key is to get out to the perimeter. Once that block's made on the perimeter, a seal block made by Anthony Ladd. Once you get to the corner, McGurdy just goes north-south and starts gaining the real yardage.
Gain of about 7. Let's make it 2nd down and 3 for the Rush.
Check that. That was Cornelius Bonner with the big block.
Bonner with that, huh? Okay.
Wow. Bonner's a physical player.
Motion man again is Chapman. Comes up to the line of scrimmage. Billy looking, throws long. He's got Chapman, and incomplete, knocked away. Chapman wanted the flag thrown. But I think what AC didn't know is that it looked like the defensive back hit the ball first.
Mark Ricks got the hand up there, the timing. The only thing he can look for here, Mark Ricks, is Antonio Chapman. When he reaches, he wants to reach, and he just happens to time the deflection of the ball right before the contact on Antonio Chapman.
That's the end of the first quarter. We're tied 6-6, the Rush and the Rampage. And the Rush have been fortunate here in the first. We'll see if they can capitalize a little more in the second. 6-6 Rush Rampage. This is Chicago Rush football. Back here, 3rd down and about 3. Quick pitch left side. Fleshman's got enough for the first down and more. He's across the 15, and again, a first down for the Chicago Rush.
I take a gasp every time they run one of those screen passes. Seen 2 fumbles this year on it, but Fleshman gets it, he breaks it outside. They've got about 12 different pass combinations off this screen play, and some of those passes go downfield, but this one was meant just to get the first down. Fleshman has the blocking in front of him, lowers his head and gets that first down.
Bonner and Fleshman are the far side. Chapman is on the near side. Flesh is moving, and Bob McMillan goes over and tries to protect his quarterback. I tell you what, offsides, we got a penalty, and now a very late flag. And he's looking right back at Corey Mayfield. I'm telling you, that was long after everything was done. A second flag was thrown. That's going to be unsportsmanlike against Mayfield again.
Yeah, the back judge came in from left field, and he must have heard something. And the minute he heard it, he threw it up. Now, we saw games get out of hand earlier in the year, and I think the officials, they've had a talking to by the league. Let's get everything under control.
Which is the way it ought to be. All right, so here we go. We got two of them.
Prior to the staff, encroachment, defense, number 91. Unsportsmanlike, defense, number 91, 5-yard penalty, and then half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Well, this ball is going to be inside the 5. Mike Trigg is saying, why would you do that? Well,
I was hoping this would be like basketball. 2 personal foul penalties, you're out of the game.
Well, let's get it. Let's take the penalty. Let's take the possession and then get it on the side and throw it in again.
I would like that, and I'd like to have Corey Mayfield out of the game.
There you go.
If this kid's that undisciplined, these officials need to realize it's the same guy causing problems. Boom, hasta la bye-bye.
Trip receivers to the far side. Now Fleshman in motion goes back to the far side. Billy fades back, looking into the end zone, rolls out to the right side, looks and throws, and it is caught. Touchdown! Cornelius Bonner was there to make the diving catch, and the rush put 6 more on the board.
A recipe for disaster, but Billy Dicken gets out of the pocket and finds Cornelius Bonner in the end zone. We've seen interceptions like that near the wall for the Chicago Rush all year. Here, Dicken's looking downfield, 1, 2, 3 different receivers. As he gets out to the wall, Bonner finds a way to get open right in front of Lamar Grant, and Dicken with the jaw, with the bad jaw. They just took the wires out this week on Thursday. Sticks with it, finds Bonner in the end zone for a touchdown.
Gispert on to attempt the extra point. Snapback falls down. The kick is up, and it is good. 13-6, the Rush with a lead. 13:09 left here in the first half. Billy Dicken on a rollout found Cornbread Bonner in the Rush in the lead. This is Chicago Rush football. Rush up by a touchdown and an extra point. Special group ticket packages are available for Rush games. You can bring your club, your school group, company outings, any group of 15 or more, and this is easy. Just call 877-RUSH-TIX. Gispert's kick. Oh, this is a dandy kick. Off the iron, it went very high. Marshall will bring it back. He's out across the 15, out near the 20, where he's finally stopped. A great kick, and now we got a little extracurricular activities. Damian Porter is going after one of the defensive linemen. When you go after Israel Raybon, who's 6'5", 305, and you're Damian Porter, and let's see what they list. I don't even know what they list Damian at. 6'1", 180, and that's probably giving him 10 pounds or so. Porter must really be upset. I don't know if we have any chance at a replay, guys. Porter is not the kind of guy who's going to come after anybody.
No, you're not gonna see him leading the gang out of the bar to start a street fight. But
and we don't have it, unfortunately. Yeah. I would love to see what this guy did to Damian. He is really fired up.
It's Raybon's responsibility to go out there and get the safety. And if the safety happened to be Porter, I'm sure he was trying to sit out there and rough him up a little bit and take advantage. And Porter wasn't going to have any of it.
Oh, he may only weigh 175 or 180, but he won't take any of that. Grand Rapids with it, just shy of their own 20-yard line. Dolezal fades back, quick throw, it's caught. Smith's got it across the 20, cuts back into the 15, cuts back again, and he is down inside the Rush 10-yard line.
I think it would help if somebody would cover Steve Smith somewhere near the line of scrimmage. And I think the Chicago Rush, when they lined up in their defense, forgot to account for Steve Smith. And Dolezal recognizes right away that Steve Smith is not covered, and he takes advantage. A lot of good downfield blocking by Rampage offensive receivers. They move the ball all the way down to the 9-8 yard line.
Trip receivers to the near side. Dolezal, a pretty good quarterback when they get in the red zone. Fades back, throws, and it's blocked. A good job on the defensive line by Big Frank Moore, 6'2", 315 out of Pitt.
Frank Moore, not an elite pass rusher. A lot of the attention being paid by Rampage linemen is for James Barron. But when Dolezal starts to look, if you're not making any headway, get those hands up in the air, and that's what Frank Moore does. Knocks the ball down and gives the Chicago Rush defense another chance to make a big play.
Tell you, the Rush defense, all defensive backs set up expecting Grand Rapids to go into a trips to the near side, and they did. Dolezal fades back, looks, lobs one into the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown by Terrell Shaw.
And Shaw used the umpire as a pick on that play. Fleshman happens to get in the way of Marvin Taylor. It causes Taylor to lose coverage a little bit, but then the umpire right in the middle of the play ends up finally picking Marvin Taylor off, and there's the umpire right in the middle of the screen occupying both of the Chicago Rush defenders as Shaw slips behind him and makes an easy touchdown catch.
Brian Gowan's on, attempt to tie the game. Nick Browder, by the way, the backup quarterback, is the holder. Gowans can throw it, and they have run a two-point conversion with him throwing it. This time, kick is good. We're tied at 13, 10:22 left in the first half. Rush and Grand Rapids all knotted up. This is Chicago Rush football. For the latest information on the most exciting team in arena football, be sure to check out ChicagoRush.com. News stories, player bios, stats update, and a lot more. Feel the rush, ChicagoRush.com. Hey, there's a good group of fans.
They came all the way from Chicago just for the Chicago Rush. Is that the Dorr family?
That's the Dorr family right there.
Mama and the Dorr kids?
They're waving to Dad. Yeah, they're waving to me. I'm waving to them, and they're waving back.
That was a nice family ride, huh?
There you go. We had a great time coming up. Antonio Chapman will get the kick. It comes off the iron, and instead it goes to Bonner. He's got it across the 10. He's got a lane. He's to the 15, to the 20. Oh, and he slipped and fell down across the 20. Oh, that's too bad. Because he could have cut that right back and gone up the middle.
It looked like Bonner was trying to put on the brakes once he got to the perimeter. He was there for the carom, and then the carpet just gave way on him. Looked like he didn't have the right shoes for the AstroTurf, which he does because they're gym shoes. There must be a little wet spot down there for him.
And you and I were walking around. That is a terrible, terrible carpet that they've got here.
It is old. It has been used since the inception of this football team in Grand Rapids, and don't look for them to make any improvements because this team is on a tight budget.
Oh, they are.
And even though they've got sellout after sellout.
Replacing the offensive specialist, number 15 for Grand Rapids. 84 is replacing the offensive specialist, 15 for Grand Rapids.
Oh, Steve Smith.
That?
Yeah, Steve Smith is replacing
Terrell Shaw.
Yeah, Terrell Shaw.
Is Shaw done then?
I don't know if he got the heave-ho or maybe he's injured. We'll have to find out from our sideline report.
Receivers split to both sides. Bonner is the motion man. And we've got illegal motion. Lindsey Fleshman be called for illegal motion. Hohensee upset that the lineman continued to rush against Billy Dicken long after that play was whistled dead.
And that was Eric Goldstein who kept rushing, and believe me, he's not the picture of health, having been close to him. I mean, that might be the sloppiest football player I've ever seen in my life.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 10, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Yep, Fleshman moved. So the ball comes back 5 yards. In this game and in this league, 5 yards usually isn't a big deal unless it's third down.
Yeah, third down is really the important time. You don't want to give up any yardage. Just make it tougher on yourself.
Bonner and Fleshman to the far side. No movement at all. Billy fades back, throws. Great catch, and he stepped out of bounds apparently just across the 25 into Grand Rapids territory at the 23. So it is a nice gain by the Rush. And it'll bring up second down at about 5.
And if the Rampage are going to play soft coverage on Chapman, this is the only way you're going to be able to make headway to get downfield, is you're going to have to bring him back toward the quarterback, catch these passes, and give Chapman an opportunity to make some moves and progress downfield.
Trip receivers to the far side. Chapman will be the motion man. Here he comes to the line of scrimmage, and we've got offsides. Travis McDonald, a linebacker, jumped off sides, and it'll be rush football. And again, they continue to rush the quarterback. And again, it's Israel Rabon who continued to rush Billy long after that play was blown dead.
And there's no reason for this, and the officials are going to have to stop it.
Prior to the snap, defense, encroachment, unabated to the quarterback, number 45, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And I don't even know how you send a message. When do you send a message, and when do you start saying, hey, enough is enough?
Yeah.
There's the line coach, Terry Gray. He's upset that his defensive linemen, one after the other, keep jumping off sides and keep going after the quarterback late and getting penalties. Terry Gray not happy.
So a first down for the rush. Trip receivers to the far side. This is a throw, and Bob McMillan dropped it. Now to hold it. The officials say that it's incomplete pass. Exactly. He never had control. The line judge was trying to say that it was complete, but I don't think he ever had control. He should have.
It looked like he was bobbling it the whole way, and when he started to bring it in, it popped out of his hands. But as a receiver, you've got to either get it in, even if you drop it, you got to make sure you get it out of bounds and you pounce on it, because you don't know if the official's going to call it a fumble.
Right. You play till the whistle, don't you?
Yeah, don't be lackadaisical about the ball.
Fleshman is the motion man on the far side. Billy fades back, has some time, steps up, throws, and it is intercepted. It was intended for Lindsey Fleshman, and it was intercepted.
Travis McDonald comes through on the inside and gets a rush on the quarterback, causes Billy Dickens to throw the ball early.
So a timeout as a second interception of a Billy Dickens pass, and 7:27 left in the first half. We've got a timeout. This is Chicago Rush football. Back in Van Andel Arena, sold out Van Andel Arena. 13 all, the Rush and Rampage tied with 7:27 left here in the second. Grand Rapids breaks their huddle. Deontay Brown, a new wide receiver, just checked in. Dolezal throws. It's caught. Hodges got it across the 25 into Rush territory. David Hodge with the catch, and it'll be a first down.
Hodge with the catch. The guy we're going to be checking on is Shaw, perusing the sidelines for him. He is on the sidelines with his helmet off, moving his neck back and forth. But they just replace offensive players one after the other. They get new guys in there, and Hodge is going to be the guy. And there's Shaw right there. Doesn't look like there's anything physically wrong with him, but he's on the sidelines, and he's been replaced as an offensive specialist by Steve Smith.
Smith will be the motion man right now. Dolezal, quick throw, and it is intercepted. Oh, yeah, Damian Porter got it. The Rush get it right back at about their own 15-yard line. Porter anticipated, drove in front, and comes up with a football.
On coverage on Dante Brown on the perimeter. He sees the throwing motion. Porter squats, takes a chance, makes a break. This kid had 10 interceptions last year. Now I believe this is his third on the season. And Porter's the guy that has to step up. And he's been ignited today. He's been pushed around a little bit, and now he's fighting back. And that's what we need out of Porter, who's a defensive specialist.
Kalani comes in as a wide receiver along with Anthony Ladd. Chapman is on the near side. That's the short side of the field. Dickens, a quick fade, looking, throws, it's caught. Ladd's got it, tries to break a tackle, can't do it. He's across the 20, a gain of about 5, make it 2nd and 5 for the Rush. And again, what you talked about, if they're going to give you those 5-yard outs, you've got to take them.
You have to take the short pass patterns, and I think that's what's going to be called, because this Rampage unit with Rod Manuel out there, Travis McDonald, Corey Mayfield, these guys can rush the passer and get after the passer. It looks like your short routes are going to be your only option today.
Kalani comes to the near side. Kalani, a terrific athlete. Chapman running right up the middle. They're looking for AC, and the throw is incomplete. It should have been intercepted. And we've got a flag down. Was that a late hit on the quarterback? I'm not sure.
Ricks on the coverage, incomplete pass penalty.
And it looks like it is going to be a late hit on the quarterback, Terry Gray, the line coach, going ballistic.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Number 45 on the defense. 10-yard penalty for the previous spot. Automatic first down.
There he is. He's screaming at that referee. Well, not screaming. He's up. So, oh, now, okay, there you go.
He's giving him the business.
Oh, yeah.
I'm waiting to see the flag start to fly on Terry Gray. And there you go, Travis McDonald coming through. The ball is gone. 1, 2, 3. 3 steps, a wrap up, and then you take him to the ground.
Yep.
And then what are you arguing about? There's nothing to argue about. It's a one-step rule.
Billy throws this one away. He was in all kinds of trouble and just threw that baby out of bounds.
Great catch by the fan in the Arena Football League. Ball goes up in the stands.
It's his.
That is his to keep. I love that double panel look that Wilson gives the Arena Football League. It's like tan and a little darker maroon there, which is
there you go.
Very saucy. Yeah.
I got it. Look at this.
That's a $60 football. Commissioner David Baker's autograph on that football too.
Trip receivers come to the near side. Kalani will be on the far outside. Chapman, the motion man, in the middle. Slot is Ladd. Billy fades back. Looking, rolls out, still looking, throws and throws it away. He was waiting for Kalani to make the move to the outside. Instead, he went to the inside, but hold it. We've got a flag downfield. A flag down right near the end zone.
Anytime I see a flag coming from the back, Judge, right away you're looking at some sort of defensive misalignment. That flag flew right at the snap of the ball.
Maybe a holding, or could be a, well, let's see.
Illegal formation on the defense. Number 97 lined up too wide. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
And the defensive ends, when they line up, only a portion of them could be to the outside of the tackles. And what usually happens, Rod Manuel, the one who was outside, is the umpire will come in and give you a little pat on the keister and tell you to move in.
Right.
But if you start to ignore the umpire, then the back judge is going to fire that penalty on you. It's an unfair advantage if the defensive end lines up too far outside the tackle. He's got a straight shot at the quarterback. So for competitive play, they keep him inside.
And the Rush have taken a timeout. 3:54 left in the first half. 13-all. The Rush and Grand Rapids are tied here. And the Rush driving inside of Grand Rapids' 15-yard line. This is Chicago Rush football. Back here in Grand Rapids, tied at 13. 3 minutes, 54 seconds left here in the second quarter. These two teams encased in a battle, and where they are, I want to tell you, Rush fans, that family 4-packs are available right now as we speak. Here's what you get, Yurko. Now you'd love this. 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 soft drinks, 4 great family members to come. No, they won't come with you. But a great family value for only $40.
That's a deal.
Call Ticketmaster 312-559-1212. Come out and see the Rush play. Rush will be at Detroit next weekend. This 3-game set is going to be a tough one.
Yes.
Because after that, the Rush back on the road. They're heading to Denver after that.
Colorado.
Oh, Colorado,
Rush.
yep.
And they're in Denver, though. You're right.
They are, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I wasn't positive my geography there. Trip receivers to the near side. Ladd comes in motion, now comes back, stays on that near side. Billy fades back, quick throw, caught and dropped. Kalani had it in his hands and had a lot of green in front of him, but just flat dropped the ball, and now it's 3rd and 5.
And Kalani was waiting for the hit. He stops running. Billy's throwing it on rhythm, and he just looked like he was anticipating the hit. He short-armed it and didn't end up catching it.
And look at Kalani. He is the one who is most upset about it.
Well, he's disheartened offensively here. Last week, he was disheartened defensively because he gave up 3 touchdowns.
A lot of times, Mike Hohensee will go right back to the same guy who dropped it. Let's see if that's the case here. Billy fades back. Kalani does an out. He's looking for Ladd instead, and it's tipped away. A very nice defensive play played. Cecil Doggett and Deontay Brown knock it away, and it is 4th down.
I didn't like the way the two receivers were in the same zone when Billy's surveying the field. It doesn't look like he's going to Kalani or whether he's going downfield to Ladd. Kalani had to run a much shallower route. He should have ran it right at the first down marker, and that would have given a little bit more room to Anthony Ladd, the corner of the end zone.
And the Rush are going for it on 4th down.
This is a smart play by Coach Hohenson. Get field goals, touchdowns win games.
Ladd and Kalani are wide to the near side. Chapman is on the far side. That's the short side of the field. Ladd the motion man. Billy fades back, looking into the end zone, and Ladd was absolutely grabbed, and that'll be a holding penalty, no doubt about it. That'll be interference called against Mark Ricks. No question.
Mugged, hog-tied,
yeah,
accosted. Any way you want to put it, he was interfered with by Mark Ricks, and Mark Ricks just wanted to save the touchdown. That's
well, he literally turned the man around. He turned Ladd around as he was trying to catch the football.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 14. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
There's a good call. There's no gray area there.
Oh, no.
There's no way to argue that whatsoever. Terry Gray, that's one of the few calls he's not going to argue, the defensive line coach. He said, okay, we saw it. We're going to give it up there. And there's Terry. He's been very boisterous on the sideline.
This has been a terrific drive by the Rush. Watch him grab him here and turn him around. There isn't any question about that.
None. I thought the back judge was going to miss the play. I'm glad to see a penalty flag thrown.
A give to Jamie McGurty, and he gets to the middle of the field, down to about the 6 or 7 yard line, maybe a gain of 1.
Down close to the 7-yard line. It'll be second down goal to go.
Second goal just inside the 7.
I like the play call. It seems a little bit conservative, but what you're trying to do is you're trying to take the crowd out of this game a little bit. They're excited. They're trying to...
And you hear the PA announcer, keep up the noise, fans.
He sees exactly what Coach Hohenson is trying to do. But now it's time to go into the end zone and get a touchdown.
Bonner is open. I think that may be where they're going. Nope, it's a give. Instead, McGurty turns upfield at the 5, and he's down to about the 3-yard line, and we're coming up on the 1-minute warning.
Coach Hohenson in Van Andel Arena on the opposition's turf. He's going to play the clock a little bit, run it down to the 1-minute warning, try to get a touchdown in and make it a 2-possession half.
Well, we're at the 1-minute warning. We've got a timeout. 1 minute left in the first half.
1 minute.
13 all. The Rush and Grand Rapids. We'll take a break and be right back. This is Chicago Rush football. Welcome back. Coming up at halftime, we will talk with Lindsey Fleshman, have highlights and stats from the first half. And also, we're going to talk to the head coach. Mike Hohenson is going to join us. All right, 3rd and goal. Fleshman will be the motion man going to the far side. Billy fades back, rolls out, looking into the end zone, looking. Bonner fell down, and now so does Billy. Billy goes down at about the 13-yard line.
Billy goes down. Rod Manuel with the rush. Albert Reese with the rush. McGurty had the key block on the perimeter, trying to solidify that edge and make it a solid anchor point, but that never happens. Rod Manuel gets up underneath McGurty and gets to the perimeter.
Their first timeout.
Grand Rapids calls a timeout. This will be a quick timeout.
And Billy Dickett looking downfield. He's looking for Bonner. Bonner's on the ground. Antonio Chapman's all locked up, and Dickett has nowhere to go, and he doesn't have the sense to get rid of the ball up into the stands. You've got to create another souvenir on that play. Just throw it right into somebody's chest.
Standings in the Central Division of the American Conference. Dallas and Grand Rapids are 5-3. The Rush and Indiana are 3-5. Grand Rapids goes to Indiana next week.
Right.
Grand Rapids could very easily lose. And Dallas is coming to Chicago in a couple weeks, April the 20th. So a lot of opportunity for the Rush. All right, here we go. 4th and goal for the Rush, and they're going for it. Football is at the 13-yard line. Fernell Hankton is the tight end. He is a very, very accomplished pass receiver. Fleshman makes the move to the middle, comes back to the far side. Billy fades back. Looks, throws into the end zone, and this is intercepted down at the 5-yard line. With 43 seconds to go, they've got lots of time. Mark Ricks, the man who made the interception.
The Rampage defensive backs do a great job of getting depth. Cecil Doggett down with the injury. He ran into Mark Ricks. But they get such a good job of getting depth. And when Billy Dicken drops back, he's surveying the left side of the field. He doesn't even realize Mark Ricks is there waiting. And if it wasn't Mark Ricks that comes with the interception, Cecil Doggett is going to make that interception. You can't look at, you just can't look at one side of the field. You have to look at both sides.
Official timeout for the injury. Doggett is moving, and it looks like he's going to be getting up right now.
And there's the impact, and Doggett was looking, and he was lunging out and extending himself for the interception. Suddenly, he just gets nailed by Mark Ricks on the other side. He wasn't expecting that type of impact.
And he looks all right now.
He's up and about. You know, JoJo Polk used to play for the Grand Rapids Rampage, and he had 2 neck injuries here. And this medical staff has dealt with these neck injuries before, so they were really going to be careful before they let Cecil Doggett get up and about.
All right, now Grand Rapids is got the football with 43 seconds left. Quick throw to the outside. It is caught across the 20 out to about the 22-yard line. Out to the 22, and Marvin Taylor, the man there on the stop.
Looks like there's mixed signals. One ref has called for the clock to continue to move.
Motion man on the far side is Smith. Quick throw goes out. It's caught by Marshall, and boy, they're just marching up the field. This football is inside the 15 at the 14 with 28 seconds left.
And with under 1 minute, every time there's a first down, the clock will stop. They'll reset the chains, and then they'll restart the clock. They're going to move the chains. They're going to stay on the sidelines. They're going to stay near the out-of-bounds marker. They're going to try to stop the clock. They score quick here. Chicago has 1 possession to try to answer.
Trip receivers come to the near side. Again, the motion man is the new offensive specialist, Steve Smith. Dolzell with a give goes right up the middle, and they're going to get back to about the line of scrimmage, and now Grand Rapids will be forced to call a timeout.
It'll be second down, Grand Rapids.
Michael Trigg trying to...
Grand Rapids, their second timeout.
13 all, Grand Rapids
30-second timeout. 30-second timeout.
Fans, when you're at the next home game, remember to stay for the post-game autograph sessions. It's a great chance to meet your favorite players after the game. Feel the rush of Chicago Rush Arena football. 20 seconds left. Last year and the year before, Grand Rapids was able to run the football against the Chicago Rush. And I think that may have been a part of the call that they just made right there.
And I think Michael Trigg wants to, the head coach of the Grand Rapids Rampage, wants to make sure that the final possession is the Rampage scoring a touchdown. He doesn't want to give Chapman a chance to return a kickoff. You notice anything about the score?
Odd, 13 all?
Yeah, 13-13 in arena football.
Low and different. Again, trip receivers to the near side. Dolzell fades back, looking, throws this one away. He was going to get hammered and did. John Moyer is the man who throws him down. Now with 15 seconds left. Now it's 3rd down and 9 for a first down. Again with 15 seconds left.
And Dolzell was eyeing Steve Smith, and Marvin Taylor was in coverage step by step. Looked like the referee was going to start reaching for the flag, but he kept the flag in his pocket and didn't call defensive hold.
So 3rd down, 15 seconds left in the first half. Again, trip receivers to the near side. Dolzell looking, throws it over the middle, and it is... What are we saying? Intercepted or incomplete?
I know this. It's down in the corner of the end zone where
we can't see.
Yeah, we don't have any vision because of the dasher boards that are in there. But
now the officials are talking. Hold it.
Looked like Steve Smith. They talked about Steve Smith's going to make a one-handed grab. He never has possession of the ball, and he is out of bounds when he touches the ball, so the ball has to be out of bounds.
Oh, and a fan reached out. Watch the fan reach out and grab.
Steve Smith running into the corner. There the ball hits the ground. No possession. He slides out of bounds. And then the fans are up over. They're taking
See him reach out and try and get Bonner. Watch the guy in the gray sweatshirt reach out and try and get Bonner.
You're right. The ball's out of bounds. And you're right. He does get it.
He did. Gowans is on to attempt the field goal, and the snap's too high. Gowans is going to pick it up and heave it, and it is going to be incomplete. And the Rush will have it with 4 seconds left.
And there's a chance, one play into the end zone. I haven't seen the ball thrown off the net yet. I'd like to see that last-ditch effort play. A number of teams have had snapping problems on extra point and field goals this year because you need to have your players do so much. Play offense, defense. Sometimes you don't have the luxury of a guy that snaps before.
If that ball had been just a little higher, AC had it. Antonio Chapman was closing in on it and almost made a catch. 4 seconds left now, and the Rush with a chance for one play. When this play is over, we will take a 1-minute timeout, and then we'll come back and talk to Mike Hohensee. So, attention to all stations, 1-minute timeout. Billy fades back, has time, steps up, throws, it's caught. Chapman's got it. There's the final horn. Chapman looking to make a move, and he's down. And that's the end of the first half. We played one half of football, make it 13-all. The Rush and Grand Rapids. We'll come back and talk with head coach Mike Hohensee. This is Chicago Rush football. Welcome back. This is the Jim Beam halftime show. The Rush and Grand Rapids tied at 13. And Mike Hohensee alongside. I've got to tell you, when Brian Gowans threw that pass, Antonio Chapman was maybe a step away from making an interception. That might have been some scene.
Yeah, well, that's not the biggest play of the, actually it was a big play, but it wasn't the biggest play of the half. We got to control the football. We can't throw it into their hands, or we're forcing the ball a little bit. And, Billy's just, he's got to make better decisions.
And Mike, it seemed like you guys had an opportunity, and Damian Porter makes a big play to come up with an interception. You get a fumble recovery. What we talked about in the pregame show is starting to happen a little bit with your defense. You're playing very well.
Yeah, no doubt. We're getting heat on Dozell, and forcing him to throw the ball when he's not used to throwing the ball. And we're coming up with the big plays on defense. Offensively, we've got to do a better job putting it in the end zone.
Coach, what can you do differently offensively to help spark things for you and make easier reads for Billy Dickett?
Well, not much. We haven't been very complicated out there. The first interception we threw, we had 2 short stops on the left side and a post from the back side, and we're supposed to read the front side, and he throws it into coverage. I don't know.
Is that what Billy has to do, is work on recognition?
He's got to work on recognition and, just play smart. Our defense is going to keep us in this football game. We just can't lose it offensively.
All right, last thing, Mike, what are you going to go in and tell your team right now?
To go out there and fight. I told them before this game started, these guys aren't ready to play. I saw it in their eyes. They're questioning whether we were a 3-5 team and they were a 5-3 team, just like when we played Buffalo. So I think we just got to come out and take it to them again early. I think it'll be our game.
All right, Mike, go get him, buddy.
Thank you.
Head coach Mike Hohensee on the Jim Beam halftime show. Tied at 13, the Rush and Grand Rapids. We'll come back. Talk to Lindsey Fleshman after these. This is Chicago Rush football. Welcome back. Halftime here in Grand Rapids. The Chicago Rush take on the Rampage, and we had a chance to catch up with wide receiver Lindsey Fleshman.
I like to try to be an overall player, special teams, defense, and offense.
Lindsey Fleshman just ran by his man.
Well, I prefer offense because I'm a natural receiver. I catch footballs and I score touchdowns, but I'm starting to like a defense a lot too.
Left and it's intercepted. Lindsey Fleshman's got it across the 15, out to the 20, almost to the midfield stripe.
You can hit people, you can hit them back, because on defense they're trying to hit you. Offense, so like retaliation. Because I'm far away from my family, because my family's in Virginia, and now I'm here with my other family, my teammates. I hate not being around my kid either. She just turned 1 February 7th, and I'm missing kind of the growing up years right now. My favorite receiver is Jerry Rice because he did it for so long. And when he did it to perfection, and he worked hard at it. And I try to be just like him. Well, I just try to be pretty much all in one. You have little receivers that are very fast. You have big receivers that can catch and run good routes. I try to be in between. I can try to do what everybody can do. Sometimes you try to think of a dance, and when you do score, you do something different. So you never know what you're going to do.
Plus, we got a little bit moves going on.
He does now.
We're going to take the task at hand, and we're going to go game to game first, and then make it to the championship.
Coming up, we'll have highlights and stats from the first half. The Rush and the Rampage. We'll be right back. The Rush, not tied with the Rush, but tied with the Grand Rapids Rampage. 13 all here in Grand Rapids. And the Rush, as Mike Hohensee told us just a couple minutes ago, defensively did a great job.
Yeah, defensively all over the field, stopping Clint Dalzell in a very dangerous Grand Rapids Rampage team. But this game is being handed to them, and now the Rush have to find a way to take advantage. And it looked like they're going to take advantage early, finding a way to get the ball to the end zone. And Billy Dickens finds Lindsey Fleshman early on just a little fly route down the middle of the field, and they had no answers for him early. But a handful of interceptions here. Dalzell answers right on the way back. Shaw right to the end zone. This combination's been hooking up all year for the Rampage. Then Billy Dickens rolls out and finds Cornelius Bonner running the same way in the end zone for the Rush's second touchdown. But then the Rampage and Clint Dalzell, they come back. They use the umpire in a little pick play, and Shaw gets the interception. And then Billy Dickens, and what's been really a plague for the Chicago Rush offense all year, interceptions. And then Damian Porter, what they haven't been able to do all year is get interceptions. They find a way to do it. And Billy Dickens comes back right before the end of the half. And Ricks comes up with the second interception for the Grand Rapids Rampage.
Some numbers, the Rush with 3 more first downs. Passing yards, big for Grand Rapids. Total yards, they're fairly close. Turnovers, though, 5 turnovers in the half. Very strong time of possession for the Rush, just dinking that ball up the field. And how about 7 penalties for 50 yards for Grand Rapids already? That's not a good stat, I'm sure, for the Rampage.
Oh, not at all. There's something they're not going to be very proud of. And Corey Mayfield responsible for 3 of those penalties. And really the discipline of the Rampage is at question right now. And Michael Trigg, their head coach, has to get these guys under control. But this game is being handed to the Chicago Rush, and the Rush have to take advantage in the second half.
Something you and I have talked about a lot is the fact that the game is there for the taking. Yep. You feel like you should be up by a little bit more at halftime, but the game is still there for the taking if the Rush are able to do it.
Defensively, the Rush have been there all year. They've always given themselves chances to win games, but offensively, they have been able to put the ball in the end zone, and you see the 3 turnovers today for the Chicago Rush really causing major problems for them.
All right, we're at halftime, tied at 13. Rush and the Rampage. We'll come back, bring you the second half of a good football game. This is Chicago Rush football.
You know,
welcome back, tied at 13 here at halftime at Grand Rapids. The Rush and the Rampage. Comparison to the QBs, what do you think?
Looks pretty even except for the 3 interceptions Billy Dickens has thrown. That pretty much is the difference, and it has stopped the Chicago Rush offense from getting into the end zone. Dalzell just a little bit more efficient. Completions to attempts, completing 67% of his passes. I don't think both quarterbacks have been as sharp as they would like. And Dalzell's interception he threw out to the flats that Damian Porter got a hold of, I'm sure he wished he had that back.
Chicago Rush equipment manager Jeff Henderson remembers last July here. Watching the shadow right here. See Hendo right there? All right. Now you see him? Now you don't. Because Lindsey Fleshman took him out. At the time, they thought Hendo had broken his hip. He's hiding on us right now. There's Hendo. By the way, we got to send congratulations out to his sister Beth, her husband Sean. They are proud parents of a baby daughter. Paige was born Monday. Paige Smith, Hendo, going home. He cannot wait to get there. Got a couple days off just outside of Peoria. He is just as excited as he could be. He's a good man.
Second most productive Eastern Illinois product on the team, and with Hendo
And the first being?
And the first being our guy John Moyer.
That's what I thought. Okay.
He's the most
I thought you were going to talk about yourself.
Oh, no. I'm the least productive Eastern Illinois graduate here. And Clint Zell's the guy they really got to slow down in the second half. They kept him in check in the first half, and defensively they just got to step up. They got to put a little pass pressure on him, and I think they're going to be in good shape.
Yeah, as long as they continue to get just a little bit of pressure on Dolezal, I think they'll be all right.
Dispert with the kickoff. He's going to send it down to Steve Smith. Steve Smith, not the usual return guy.
Terrell Shaw is the guy that's been there most often.
And Marshall's been back there a little bit today. So they've got their third guy back there.
Here's the kick. A line drive affair that comes down and bounces around in the end zone. Smith takes it, comes out across the middle, escapes two men, and he is down at the 6-yard line. He touched that knee down.
Thank you.
Oh, my. The 112 Jiffy Lube stores in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana feature quality oils like Pennzoil and Quaker State. It's Chicagoland's choice for preventive maintenance, signature oil service, change transmission fluid service, radiator fluid service, and AC recharging service. Jiffy Lube, professional, courteous, convenient, affordable. Do yourself a favor. On the way home, visit Jiffy Lube.
And Steve Smith, very elusive. I didn't think as elusive as Chapman, but there he is. Hand on the ground, knee scrapes the ground. They call him down. And very fortunate for the Chicago Rush.
Man in motion in the near side. Dolezal fades back. Quick throw is to the tight end, and this big fella's going to rumble. He is across midfield into Chicago Rush territory. Rod Manuel, the guy who makes that catch.
And Rod Manuel, the individual who's blocking John Moyer. Moyer free on the rush, but they find Rod Manuel just crossing across the middle, knowing that you don't really pay attention to the tight end in the Arena Football League until he causes you a little bit of damage. Where there, Rod Manuel gains about 20 yards. He's causing a little bit of damage, so they're going to pay attention to him now.
Wide receiver split to both sides. Nope, now they're all coming to this far side. Motion man and hold it off sides. Riley Klein-Hesselink was in very quickly.
If we don't hear James Barron's name associated with a penalty, we wouldn't be playing a game.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, defense, contact, number 95, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And it was James Barron on the offsides penalty.
I thought it was Riley.
James just, he's so close to the center, he makes the contact first. So they gave him credit for that penalty.
Shaw is on the near side. Bonner will come over and get him. And then Smith and Willis Marshall are on the far side. Shaw, the motion man. Dolezal a quick out for Shaw, and he gets it just inside the 10 at the 9-yard line.
Dolezal's pass is complete.
Shaw back in 100% healthy. We thought he was taken out of the game earlier with Steve Smith coming in as the offensive specialist. But what Michael Trigg, the head coach of the Grand Rapids Rampage, tries to do is rotate his guys to keep them fresh. Michael Trigg there with 67 victories. He's done a wonderful job here at the Grand Rapids Rampage on a limited budget.
Motion man on the far side is Willis Marshall. Marshall doing an end pattern, and it is inside Smith. He is in for the touchdown.
Got a penalty flag down also on the play. Looked like a face mask against the Chicago Rush.
And Marvin Taylor is down for the Rush.
And here's Steve Smith just looking to dive into the end zone. It is a face mask, and boy, that head gets snapped around a little bit. They're going to call a personal foul penalty.
Marvin Taylor is still down as well.
Steve Smith shaking up on the play.
Anytime you get to the goal line and bodies start flying all over the place, usually damage happens in the middle of that carnage. And there's the dive.
Personal foul.
There's the head
Face
spinning
mask.
all around.
On the defense, the penalty is refused. Touchdown.
And then you see Marvin Taylor take the shot from his own player, trying to come in and help and make the tackle. What usually happens is the player coming in closes his eyes. There's a little bit of movement, and he ends up missing his own guy and hitting his own player.
We'll take a 1-minute break. 12:42 left in the third. 1913 Grand Rapids. This is Chicago Rush football. Back in Grand Rapids, the Rampage lead at 19-13. Fans, remember to come 2 hours early to every home game for the Dominic's Family Fest. There's great music, interactive games for the kids, fun for everybody, all leading up to the exciting Chicago Rush Arena football game. You will have a great time. Boy, he's still down, Yurko, and they're not moving that head at all.
Well, we talked about JoJo Polk. He's been an individual defensive back here that has had neck injuries on this field and was partially paralyzed for a while. And now Steve Smith just trying to dive into the end zone. And there it is right there, the torque on the neck as he's trying to extend. And you can see it, how uncomfortable that makes the player and where that injury might occur. Just right there in a little bit of jerk when his body's going one way and his head just snaps back the other way. So they're going to take every precaution. They're very experienced with this. They're going to take every precaution they can. And they're going to make sure there's absolutely nothing wrong with him, and he's got all his wits about him before they ever attempt to move him.
And now it looks like they're going to get him up. They have moved him up to a sitting position,
which is a great sign, especially if his family is looking on. Right there, that's where you have all the support muscles for the neck, right in the back there, and you've got your trapezius that runs up there. You want to make sure none of that is tender, and they're just feeling around, making sure everything's hunky-dory.
How many seats are there in the upper bowl alone? Is it 851-62?
It's a scary sight if you're a football player.
Now, how did Marvin Taylor get hurt?
Marvin gets hit.
Oh, Lindsey Fleshman just
friendly fire
him. Yeah.
It's friendly fire right there. One of his own guys picks him off.
Ouch.
Lindsey Fleshman.
Now, you remember Marvin Taylor had a torn abdominal muscle early in the season, and that's right where he got hit.
Yeah, boy.
Flesh is up laughing.
And it looks like he got hit in the lower abdominals. It's a very sensitive area.
I'm looking for Marvin Taylor, and finally he's up on his feet. All right, that is very, very reassuring to see. And look at this, Steve Smith walking off under his own power.
He replaced Shaw as an offensive specialist.
Right.
When we thought Shaw was banged up, I bet you Shaw replaces him as the offensive specialist.
And I mentioned I was looking for Marvin Taylor. I got him. He is on the field. All right, 19-13. And Brian Gowan's on to attempt the extra point. Last time it was a field goal attempt that sailed over the holder, Nick Browder's head, at the end of the first half. And that was a high snap, but it's good. Kick is good. 20-13. 12:42 left here in the third. We'll take a timeout. The Rush will get it when we come back. This is Chicago Rush football. Rush fans, it may not feel like it. Jerko and I drove up here today. It snowed and then sleeted on us. But spring is here, and that means golf season is here. When you're searching for a tee time, don't forget Hilldale Golf Course in Hoffman Estates. Now, they've got memberships available, but it is a public course, so you can still call and say, hey, I want to play Tuesday at 3 o'clock, and you can get in. No question about it. They feature new GPS system, new carts with protective covers for those inclement weather days. They've also got great group outing packages, so call Hilldale today. 847-310-1100. Brian Gowans with the kickoff. Very high end-over-end kick through the uprights, and Chapman will take it. Nope. They say it's an automatic touchback. Rush will have it 1st and 10 at their own 5-yard line.
Rush in a position where they have to answer a score with a score, and it's got to be a touchdown for Billy Dicken. Let's see what type of adjustments were made during halftime. And if they kind of talked to Billy and said, Billy, you got to recognize the whole field, and if they're playing a 3D coverage, you have to realize when a receiver's crossing the field that defensive back will be there.
Bonner and Fleshman are wide to the far side. Chapman's on the near side. Fleshman will be the motion man. They may be going long here. Looking long, and it is Fleshman who's got it out across the 20 at the 21-yard line.
It's a completion, but it wasn't a perfect pass. Fleshman was open. If you can get him on stride, he's got a chance to turn the corner and take it upfield. But Billy Dicken puts the ball behind him. He has to slow down and stop and then try to wheel back inside. And you can see why that ball's behind him. Dicken was getting pressured, had to throw the ball while he was moving back. Didn't have the exact timing, nor did he lead Fleshman.
Trip receivers to the far side now. Fleshman is the motion man. Billy fades back and looks. Now he's going long, looking for Bonner, and it's just overthrown. Cornbread had no chance to get that one.
I believe Billy, talking to Coach Hohensee, getting the play, had no chance to get the ball to Bonner, so he just dumped that ball away and said, hey, I'm going to live to fight another day. And Hohensee trying to give him a play that will be able to move the ball downfield and build Billy's confidence.
I'd go along with that. 2nd and 10, football at the 21-yard line. Fleshman's the near side. Chapman on the far side. Billy rolls out, looking long, throws, and it's caught by Bonner. A great catch near the 15-yard line, and he goes down. Let's see if he's all right. He flips the ball out. Yep, and he's going to get up. Boy, that was a strike.
And what protection Billy had all day to throw. He looked at his first two options, was patient enough to sit and wait for the medium crossing route coming from the side, the near side of the field to the far side of the field. And when it came open, Cornelius Bonner was wide open. That's when you know Billy understands the offense, when he can sit and wait patiently and get to that wide receiver. But that time, the key, he had time.
Bonner's out near the sideline. Fleshman, the motion man on the far side. Billy fades back, looks, now rolls out. He's in trouble. Rolls out of the pocket, steps, and throws it about 5 rows deep.
Fans in Grand Rapids are going to love Billy Dicken after this game if he keeps doing the right thing. Nobody's open on a first down play. Dump it out of bounds, and that's exactly what he did on that play. Fans, they're fighting over it. Look, got a young lady, security. And there's the, right there, look at this little reverse pivot. There's no holding going on there. Not if you're a Chicago Rush fan. And there's the fire right into the stands. Somebody's coming down with a brand new Wilson football. There's no fight. Look at that. Look at the old codger in the gray getting it done.
He's biting him.
He's not getting it done. He looks like
There's
a welder.
A headlock. He's got him in a headlock.
I love it.
He's got him in a headlock.
There it is, fisticuffs.
Oh, yeah. There is still a game going on. Billy fades back, steps, throws, caught by Fleshman at about the 11-yard line. Now back to our wrestling match. He's going to tag off. Here he comes over the ropes.
The Marcus of Queensberry rules are in effect, too. No rabbit punches, no kidney punches. These guys are all-season ticket holders that sit around each other all year, and they're getting fisticuffs. There's the replay of what was happening. There's a lot of digging.
Really giving it to him now, eh?
Yeah, there's a lot of digging going on, and there's the red-haired chap getting a shot in there.
3rd and 7 among all of this. And the young lady's got it. She was the toughest among all of them.
You know, she said, that's not a ball.
Billy fades back. Looking into the end zone. He's got Chapman open. Touchdown, Chicago Rush.
And Chapman found a way to break loose and get out into the open. Dicken rolling left. He's been very comfortable just dancing out to the left-hand side where he finds Chapman in the corner of the end zone wide open.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, there's a football game.
Oh, and here's Dicken. There's the time, and the key is the time. He's got plenty of time to look at the field. And Chapman just slipped back out after looking like he's going to run a crossing route, slip back out to the far sideline.
Gespert on to attempt the extra point to tie it up. Snap back, ball down, the kick is up, and it is good. We're tied at 20. 7 minutes, 32 seconds left. On the field, we're tied. Off the field, we got a heck of a fight still going on. 20 all. This is Chicago Rush football. We are back, tied at 20. 7 minutes, 32 seconds left. 6 plays, 45 yards. 4 minutes. And Chapman catches the touchdown pass, and the Rush have tied up Grand Rapids.
Crossing routes at different levels are the key to the patterns the Rush are starting to run now.
Willis Marshall is the deep man. Goes off of the iron. It's loose. Marshall goes back to pick it up. Now comes up the middle, makes a cut. He's across the 10 to the 15. He could be gone, and Gispert does make the stop. At about the 18-yard line of the Rush, but we do have a flag down. Hold everything.
That flag was thrown from behind, looking at the blocking that was taking place.
And Grand Rapids is upset. Israel Raybon is the one who's upset. Let's see what the call is.
Holding, number 93.
That's why he's upset.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
When you see a play like that, you expect to be able to just climb downfield and make things happen. And there's the holding on the safety. Once you get your hands outside, you've got to be able to work them back inside. Israel Raybon doesn't get it done. And there's Gispert, who hurt himself making an opening kickoff tackle earlier in the year. He's not afraid to mix it up again.
He's a tough guy.
He is a tough kid. It's good to have him back, too. His kickoffs have been exceptional.
All right, here we go. Grand Rapids has it at their own 11-yard line. Willis Marshall's the motion man. Dolezal fades back. Quick throw caught on the sideline. Terrell Shaw there with it. Just shy of the first down, making a gain of 9. Second 1.
Marvin Taylor still limping from that earlier shot. He got hit in the lower abdomen. It looks like he's still shaking off the effects of that.
Boy, the Rush don't play high-scoring games, do they?
No, they don't. Defensively, they really play solid. They've got their premier pass rushing unit in there. John Moyer, Barron, McKenzie's out on the perimeter, and they've mixed Klein Hesselink in with the second group to get a better rush.
Dolezal looking long. Touchdown, Steve Smith got it.
Miscommunication has plagued the defensive backfield all year when guys, they start questioning each other and they've got their hands up going, what happened? Why did that happen? Cedric Walker's the key player that they're missing in the defensive backfield. He makes all the calls. Here the rush comes in, but it comes late out of Moyer from the perimeter. And there's Damian Porter just making Chase late, trying to come from behind to make up. But he can't get there as Steve Smith brings in the touchdown catch.
Brian Gowan's on to attempt the extra point. Good snap, good hold, and a good kick. We got a timeout, 5:28 left in the third, 27-20. More scoring here practically than we had in the first half. This is Chicago Rush football. Welcome back, 27-20, Grand Rapids with the lead over the Rush. 5 minutes, 28 seconds left here in the third quarter. And in NCAA basketball today, a huge upset. Marquette just hammered Kentucky 83-69. And another upset. How about this? Kansas defeats Arizona. Not as big an upset, though. 78-75, so the Kansas Jayhawks will go to the Final Four. Brian Gowan's kickoff is a line drive. Chapman will take it. This is a returnable kick. Brings it up the middle. He's going to escape one tackler, gets across the 5 to the 10, out to about the 11 or 12. And I tell you, that second effort got him about 5 or 6 more yards.
7 extra yards on that second effort, but where's the blocking on that play? He broke 2-3 tackles, is what you expect out of an Antonio Chapman. The rest of the guys I anticipate being covered. And there he gets it in pretty good shape. But the Rampage really not committing and really flying down the field. They're going to make sure they have enough guys back playing safety where they can shut off blockers and make the play. They're not going to overcommit to trying to tackle them on the 4-yard line.
Kalani goes out wide to the far side along with Ladd, who's the slot man. Chapman's on the near side. Billy fades back, steps up, throws. Chapman's got it. That little 5-7-yard pass is still there. AC makes the catch across the 15 at about the 17 or 18. See where they'll mark forward progress. Oh, the 19-yard line. Call it a gain of 8. Make it 2nd and 2.
Tom, you remember the song, Billy, Don't Be a Hero?
Yep.
I hope Dickin follows that, because all he has to do is take what the defense is going to give him. And what the Rush have started to do is run crossing routes against that 3 deep defense, and they've been able to exploit the Rampage defenders.
Chapman is the motion man, comes back to about the 10-yard line. Billy fades back, steps up, throws. It's caught by Kalani across the 25, and he's hogtied and brought down for a first down in Grand Rapids territory at about the Grand Rapids 23-yard line.
And with this quick strike offense, what they're doing is they're forcing the Rampage defense, instead of trying to disguise these coverages and getting a chuck at the line of scrimmage on the motion man, they're going to have to start going to their basic defensive packages and dropping back so Billy can recognize them a little bit quicker.
Chapman and Ladd go to the near side. Ladd's the wide man. Chapman a slot. Kalani is on the far side. Chapman's the motion man. Billy looking as he fades back, steps up, throws, looking for Ladd. It looked like Ladd was held, but that thing was way overthrown, and it looked like he also had Chapman open.
Chapman was running open, and the only guy that was able to catch that ball was the cameraman in the end zone. And Billy, again, I'd rather see Billy be patient like this and throw the ball away and just get another chance, especially on a first down. You get to come back on a 2nd and 10, a first down incompletion doesn't necessarily hurt you.
So 2nd and 10 is the call. Cornelius Bonner checks in. He's wide to the near side. Ladd is the slot man. Now Chapman goes to that side as well. He's the motion man. Billy steps up, looks, throws, and it's caught. Bonner's got it at Chapman at the 15-yard line, making a gain of 8 and bring up 3rd and 2.
And Mark Ricks was on the coverage on Chapman, and we've seen Chapman just fake people out of their jocks once he gets the ball, where he turns and makes quick moves and finds a way to get into the end zone. Well, Mark Ricks is closing up the space quickly on Chapman and just grabbing an ankle and dragging him down on the tackle.
3rd down and a short 2. Chapman is on the near side. Bonner and Ladd are on the far side. Now Chapman goes in motion. He'll stay on that near side. It's going to be a give. Jamie McGurty is going to be very close to the first down, and he'll have it down near about the 12-yard line, where he's finally brought down.
13-yard line.
Jamie's still celebrating an early touchdown run this season of the 13-yard TD he had. He's got a little shake and bake on him, not a lot. Some people say he couldn't juke a tree stump in a 10-acre field, but I myself, I don't buy that.
No, I wouldn't think you would.
And Jamie gets out into the perimeter. Bowick gets the cut block, and there's Cecil Doggett. Just gets a hand in to trip up Jamie McGurty. And some would tell you can't tackle Jamie just with one hand, but it happened on that play with Cecil Doggett.
Got a measurement, and it is just barely shy.
And it's good to have Jamie back. He separated his shoulder earlier. A sternoclavicular injury.
Very well said. You may have been wrong, but you sold it real well.
Well, Dr. Raj Khanna, he's been tutoring the team doctor for the Chicago Rush. And he bounced back after 3-4 weeks being out. Now he's set and ready to go and just really ready to fire now that their shoulder's 100%. But we got a 4th and short play here. Do you go for the first down, or do you try to score big here and get to the end zone?
First down.
Yep.
I got to have a first down.
On the road, I go for the first down. At home, I'm thinking
might go
touchdown.
for 6. Yeah,
yep.
you might fake one into the line and go for 6. Minute 40 left in the 3rd. Chapman and Bonner are wide to the near side. Ladd is the slot man on the near side. He comes in motion, and the give is to McGurty, and he'll have the first down and more out across the 10. We'll see where they'll mark forward progress.
10-yard line, David Hodge with the tackle. Ball being marked just inside.
Right on the 10, just outside. There they're working on Steve Smith's neck on the bench, trying to loosen everything up for him. Give him a little rub down, make sure the muscles loosen up a little bit. You don't want that tightening up. You can't turn left to right as a wide receiver trying to find the ball when it's in the air. You're pretty much useless.
It is a 1st and goal for the Rush. Again, I'll tell you, Fernell Hankton is the tight end, and he can catch the football. Chapman is the motion man. It is a give to McGurty. Gets around the outside. Great blocking. McGurty down inside the 5 at the 3, and a very late flag thrown.
David Hodge with a tackle.
It could well be against the Rush.
And Cecil Doggett is celebrating, saying, hey, I got held out on the perimeter. Antonio Chapman was out there. He had the main blocking assignment.
So be against the
Holding,
rush.
offense, number 9, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
Oh, that's a big
Repeat
one.
second down.
That's a big one.
That's on Cornbread.
Yep.
Correction, repeat first down.
Cornelius Bonner. It is a big one, but you got the ball in the 15 and you give yourself a little bit more room to score the touchdown. And here's McGurty running out on the perimeter.
Oh, he's got his jersey.
Yeah, he's got his jersey and his arms are outside. And once the arms break and they go outside, that's where the problem is created. Once the ball gets where you're at, and if you're doing that, they're going to throw a penalty flag.
Bonner is wide to the far side with Ladd. Chapman's on the other side, looking for Ladd, and it's overthrown. And again, the only guy that could catch that's the cameraman, as you said earlier.
Unless Anthony Ladd was as tall as Yao Ming. Or yourself, because you're over 7 feet.
Well, I'm 7'2",
Yeah.
but I think Yao would have a little better chance at that ball.
Well, that's how tall you would have had to been to come down with that. And Anthony Ladd's just not that tall.
And we have played 3 periods here in Grand Rapids. That's the third quarter horn. 27-20. Grand Rapids with the lead over the Rush. And the Rush knocking on the door here as we're going to the fourth quarter. This is Chicago Rush football. Back in Grand Rapids, Billy Dicken looking, throws. It's incomplete. And I think there's going to be a holding call against the Rush as well.
Anytime your quarterback starts to scramble on you, he changes the angle at which you're blocking. You try to keep what I call the camera, but it's the buttocks of the offensive lineman on the quarterback. And once the quarterback moves on you, he causes problems for the offensive lineman.
Offense, number 44. The penalties decline.
Bob
Third down.
McMillan is the one who is called for it. So now it's 3rd and goal at the 15.
And Bob's the fullback. He comes out, and he's got a little rip move in on him. And instead of moving his legs on the block, he decides to lean and get a hold on him. And once you lean and get a hold, you're just going to get twisted around, and that's where the holding call comes from.
Trip receivers to the near side. Lindsey Fleshman makes a move, stays on that near side. Billy fades back, looking into the end zone, throws, and it is caught and dropped. Fleshman had a touchdown and could not hang on, and it's 4th down. And I would imagine the Rush should go for 3 here. Oh, Flesh had a touchdown.
Flash had it right in his hands. He had to run across the route, going across the field, stopped, came back, and he has it in his hands for what should be a touchdown. There's Fleshman right here. Jumps when I don't think he needs to jump. He should have continued to run. If he continues to run, he comes down with the catch easy. And Bonner needs to continue across so his defensive back can't help come back and affect that play.
Gispert on to attempt a 30-yard field goal. Snap back ball down. This kick is on the way, and it is no good. Missed it wide to the right side, so it is no good. Grand Rapids will get the football and have a 7-point lead.
This kick hit the rhino that they have is their trademark, their insignia, right to the right of the field goal post. You got extra points for hitting that. Well, Gispert would be an All-American, but there's no extra points for hitting the Rampage insignia. And really, a chance to score touchdowns there. A holding penalty sets them back. A drop touchdown sets them back. Boy, the Rush you got to play perfectly when you're on the road, and they're not doing it today.
No, and this one could be a very costly one. Trip receivers to the near side. Quarterback is Dolezal. Now the motion man is Terrell Shaw. Quick pitch goes to the left side, and he's rumbling. Going across the 25 and finally brought down by Lindsey Fleshman.
It's a high percentage play, a little screen pass to Shaw, get the blockers out front, and see if any of his athleticism is going to be able to make the play, and that's Dante Brown that had the reception.
Now the football is at the Rush 20, just inside of that. And as Yurko says, Grand Rapids already up by 7, looking to go up by even more. Marshall goes to the far side along with Brown. To the near side, it's Shaw. Marshall will be the motion man. Dolezal quick pitch goes out to the right side. It's caught by Marshall. He's across the 10, inside the 5, and about the 3-yard line. Marvin Taylor was unable to bring him down until he got significant yards after the catch.
And Marvin Taylor, this is a read pattern. If Marvin Taylor bails and goes to deep coverage, Marshall's going to turn it up at the 5-yard mark, and that's what happened. And now Marvin Taylor has to hit the brakes, and he has to find a way to make the tackle. And he doesn't make the tackle right away, and then he gives the Rampage a 10, 12-yard play.
Trip receivers to the near side. That's the wide side of the field. Dolezal has his motion man, Shaw. Will fade back, look, throw, and it's incomplete. That was intended for Dante Brown. Cornelius Bonner almost had a chance at picking that one off. He needed about another half step to be in the right spot.
And that's the mindset the defensive backs have to put themselves in. When Porter got that interception earlier on a little hitch route out to the flat, he made the commitment, hey, I'm going to go for that interception. And that's what they need to do. There's Coach Houseman. He's got to come up with some sort of call that gives his guys confidence that where they can gamble a little bit and help make an interception in the key play.
Marshall and Brown are to the far side. That's the near side. Shaw is on the near side, the wide side. Now Marshall goes in motion. It's a pitch to him. Trying to get around the outside. He does, and he's moved a touchdown. Willis Marshall goes around the outside, and somebody got lost in coverage there, Yurko.
Well, John Moyer's the man on the perimeter as the defensive end playing the key position. Once he makes the decision to cheat, to go inside, and to take the easy route, that's when you know there's no solid corner out on the perimeter. McMillan dives out there, tries to make the tackle, and he's down and he's injured.
Bob McMillan.
Right where McMillan tried to make the play.
Officials timeout. Officials timeout.
Anytime you have your arms extended, you risk the chance and you risk the opportunity that you might get a shoulder injury. And there's McMillan flying. He's got his right arm out, and he just jams right up into the dasher point. And he saw him right ahead of him. He tried to brace himself, but sometimes you're moving at such a rate where it doesn't make a difference. You're going to make impact with the wall, and you hope you make it at a right angle so nothing gets busted up on you.
Phil Kopinski, rush trainer, and Dr. Raj Khanna there. There's Raj.
And that's where Moyer he cheated, he went inside, didn't stay disciplined, and there's the injury. Shoulder, helmet, awkwardly goes into the wall. And anytime the neck and the head take a lot of impact, a lot of question marks as to whether McMillan's going to be able to finish this.
Some Rush fans? No, some Rampage fans.
What is that goofy thing those kids are wearing on their heads?
Do you think they know how they look?
I really, if some people can get away with having a wedge of cheese on their head, I think Rampage fans feel they can put a rhino with a couple of horns on his head with no problem. That's a good look, though. Imagine going clubbing downtown with a little bit of that.
Sure.
You'd be all the rage.
Brian Gowns, or Rampage, on to attempt the extra point. You like that?
That's pretty good.
Thank you. Gibson's. That'd be our spot.
Yeah.
With those things. Snapback ball down. The kick is by Gowans. 10:34 left. 34-20 now. Grand Rapids with a 2-touchdown lead. And the Rush need a little help. This is Chicago Rush football. Welcome back. You see scoring by quarter. It was pretty good until that third, and now into the fourth quarter. The Rush down by 2 touchdowns. Scores from last night. Tampa Bay just hammered Arizona. Wow. San Jose over Carolina, no surprise. And from tonight, in the second, Indiana and Dallas. That's a big game for the Rush. There's the kickoff off the screen. Chapman's got it. Here he comes. Brings it out across the 10 to the 15. See ya. AC is gone. Touchdown, Chicago Rush.
And it wasn't time. You mentioned it right before we came back on. Usually AC will make a big play and he'll return it down 2 possessions. First possession of of the second half for the Rush, they find a way to put it in the end zone. And when you absolutely need something, down by 2 touchdowns, Antonio doesn't handle it cleanly, but what he does, he takes it north-south right away. He eliminates half the field, and then Big Frank Moore gets the final block on Goldstein and gets it into the end zone. Nice block by Frank Moore out on the perimeter to break Antonio Chapman.
Gispert on to attempt the extra point. And the kick is good. So the Rush bring it a little bit closer. 34-27, down by 1 with 9.5 left. The Rush closing in. This is Chicago Rush football.
To the 13 or 14.
Just had our kickoff, and Willis Marshall brought it out to about the 13-yard line. And that's where Grand Rapids will have it. Let's flash back. July 6th of last year here in Grand Rapids, Lindsey Fleshman had the night of his life. 5 touchdown catches. Chapman was terrific, including a 49-yarder, which obviously ties an AFL record. You can't get any further than that. 5 touchdowns for AC, and the Rush got a win. All right, here we go. Steve Smith, the motion man. Dozell looking, throws, caught. Very close to a first down. Shaw got it across the 20 to about the 23. Barry Dillard, who was just signed by the Rush, makes the stop. This is a guy who's got a lot of talent. He had a Achilles injury, Yurko, about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, and is trying to come back from that. If he can come back completely, he can really be a player.
He's a stud, and anytime you play against a guy, which Coach Hohensee did, he saw the way this kid could play, and even with the 2 Achilles injuries, he still wanted to get him back and give him an opportunity.
Second down and short. Dozell fades back. He's looking long, and he throws that. Oh, he just missed my family.
122 with a souvenir from Quinn.
A little bit further left, and you'd have had him.
Well, Tommy would have had himself a football.
Well, no, you know what probably would have happened is that lady in red would have tried to get my wife in a headlock and start beating her up. There they are. You can see the size difference. As much as I love her, she would have had no chance, Yurko.
Yeah, the fans in Grand Rapids here.
Oh, we've seen them. We've seen them already.
The earlier fisticuffs we had, the pugilistic adventures we had in the stands, 2 of those individuals removed.
Yeah, and the young lady ended up with the football and had the guy in a headlock. Give to the fullback, Travis McDonald, and I'm not sure that he got enough for the first down. Yeah, they'll mark him ahead. They'll mark him enough for the first down, but that was a good takedown by Jamie McGurty. You know what? You got to love Jamie McGurty. He doesn't have a lot of size. He doesn't have a lot of speed. He's got more heart than most 2 or 3 players on any spot in the whole lineup.
Yeah, heart and moxie. And what he has is attitude and the willingness to engage. He's willing to mix it up and get in there and fight and scratch for everything. And he's not going to give an inch on the squad. And that's the type of attitude you need. And he rubs off on his teammates and gives the attitude to those guys.
Damon Hodge is wide to the far side. He'll be the motion man. Dozell steps up, throws, and it is caught for a touchdown, but hold it. There's a flag down. I think Jamie McGurty was held coming into the quarterback. Bring it back. Bring it back. You'll see on the replay, McGurty was coming up the middle, and they may have actually gotten his face mask. I'm not sure.
Sean Smith doing backflips in the end zone. Don't waste your energy, lads. This one's coming all the way back.
Here comes McGurty around the right side.
Offense, number 50.
Oh, he got hog-tied.
10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, first down.
He absolutely got hog-tied coming around the corner. He put the rush in there. I was almost speechless there. I thought we were going to have a neck injury on our side.
Yeah.
But he just went out and put the old arm out there and just tried to slow McGurty down. He ended up committing a key penalty for the Chicago Rush as he brought a touchdown back.
We got to thank him for that.
Well, thank you very kind.
Still a 7-point game with 6 minutes left. Dozell fades back, looks, throws, and it is overthrown and almost intercepted. Marvin Taylor was looking for it. Terrell Shaw was the intended receiver, and it was well overthrown.
And Marvin has to quit spectating on that. You've got to be able to play the defender. And Dalzell puts the ball over. Shaw still might be able to come down with this grab. Don't jump too early thinking you might get yourself an interception. If Shaw happens to grab that and make a fabulous catch, Taylor's too busy up in the air thinking he might get an interception, and Shaw might run right by him. The player is the issue until the ball passes him. Then the ball becomes the issue.
Gotcha, okay. Dalzell's got some pressure. No, now he's wide open. Steps up, throws. Shaw's got it across the 20 in rush territory down to about the 18-yard line.
To the 17-yard line.
That's one of those combination coverages where you start on Shaw, you bother him a little bit, then you go out and play the team further in the field. Shaw just breaking it out. No pass rush whatsoever on Dalzell. Sees the whole field. And there's Shaw sitting in the middle wide open, and it was that combination route that killed him.
There's a good look right there. Good job, guys. All right, football's at the 18. It's third down and a long yard to go for the first. Travis McDonald is the fullback. Dalzell fades back, steps up, throws, and it's caught enough for a first down. Shaw's got it near the 10-yard line, and Jamie McGurty ran over one official. Now Riley Klein-Hesselink in a little tussle. Israel Raybon again at the bottom of the pile hollering at the official. I tell you what, he's a pain in the neck, Raybon is.
He's a pain in the rumpus to everyone. I mean, he's causing problems for his own team, and he's causing problems for the referees.
First and goal. Coach House calling out the play. I don't think he's calling for a pizza.
Nope, that's the Buddha defense. He is hoping for luck right now. Any type of tip ball, anything happening, a defensive back can get, come down with an interception on a tip ball.
All right, I'd go along with that. Dalzell almost falls down, throws, caught, touchdown. Terrell Shaw was rolling in the end zone. Dalzell got stepped on by his center, and as he was falling down, throws the touchdown.
That's what we talked about earlier before the game started. Dalzell be able to throw the ball, falling down, moving left, right. That time he is falling to his back. And as he gets stepped on by his center, he just fires it where he believes Shaw's going to be. And that's where Shaw ends up, right underneath the football, catching a touchdown.
Brian Gowan's on for the extra point. With 3 minutes left. Snapback ball down. The kick is good by Gowans. 3 minutes exactly. Make it 41-27. Grand Rapids with the lead. We'll take a break. Rush will get it when we come back. This is Chicago Rush Football. Back in Grand Rapids. Great seats are on sale now for the next Chicago Rush home game, Sunday, April 20th at 2 o'clock when the Rush meets division rival Dallas Desperados at Allstate Arena. You can call Ticketmaster 312-559-1212. Pick out your seats and come on out. Say hi to Yurko and me. We'd love to see you. The clock is running, just under 3 minutes left. Gowans takes his time. The play clock down to 8, down to 7. Making the Rush basically use up every possible second before he picks it off. Comes off the iron. Chapman's got it. Deep in the end zone. Makes a move. Comes around the outside. He's to the 5, to the 10. Look out! And a flag goes down as he goes down at the 20-yard line. John Moyer had a flag thrown at him at about the 9-yard line.
Thrown in its general direction, a holding call. And it's great to have an elusive kickoff return guy. Sometimes that just creates problems for the blockers.
Yeah.
You want to hold on, you want to do your best. All you end up doing is holding. And there's Moyer right in the middle, and he's got him hog-tied. They throw each other down.
Number 99 on the receiving team. After this is to the goal from the spot of the foul. First down.
So this will come just inside the 5-yard line. First and 10 for the Rush.
Defensive specialist change for Grand Rapids.
Had quite a night, 3 touchdowns.
14.
16, 8, and 10 yards. A very happy young man, I would think, with his team up 41-27.
Shaw's happy. Both their offensive specialists, Shaw and Smith, been banged up today, and yet they still find ways to score touchdowns.
Cedric Cornelius Bonner is the motion man. Billy fades back, looks, steps up, throws. Bonner's got it across the 15 and about the 17-yard line. And it'll be a first down for the Rush.
And you're down some touchdowns. You got a buck 55 left on the clock. You've got to start your hurry-up offense. You've got to get on the ball, and you've got to start driving it down.
And that's what Billy's doing right now. That's just what he's saying to his teammates. We got to hurry.
You got to start making 2 plays at a time, and you've got to start working. The clock is the enemy right now. You've got to find a way to get the ball in the end zone quick.
Coming up on a minute and a half left. Billy fades, throws, long, looking, and it is caught. Touchdown, Chapman. What a terrific catch by AC. Falling down in traffic. He reached out, got it, and the Rush put 6 on the board.
I don't know what kind of pass patterns are being run where 2 of the wide receivers are in the same area. It looks like the ball can go to either one of the 2 wide receivers. But Dickon, when he gets back, he's choosing one, and I believe it was Cornelius Bonner. But Chapman makes an adjustment on his route. He was going across the field. He cuts it back. He ends up being the intended receiver.
1-minute timing rules are now in effect.
At least the guy that caught the ball.
Both teams have 3 remaining timeouts. 1-minute timing rules are now in effect.
You hear that the 1-minute timing rule is in effect. And we've got a timeout. 1 minute left exactly, 41-33. The Rush will come back, kick an extra point, and then try an onside kick. 41-33 our score. We'll come back. This is Chicago Rush football. Welcome back. 41-33. Gispert is on to attempt the extra point. Chad Salisbury, the holder. Backup quarterback. Gispert's ready. Snap, a high snap. The kick is up, and it is good. 41-34. A 7-point game with a minute exactly left.
Minute left. And here's the touchdown. This is why I talk about 2 wide receivers in the same area. Chapman crossing the field, sees the ball thrown up, makes an adjustment to where he believes the pass is going, and then there's Cornelius Bonner that comes into the picture. So who is that route to, and why are 2 wide receivers in the same area? I'm sure that's not the way Coach Hohensee has it designed, and yet it works out perfectly because Chapman ends up with a touchdown on the second play of that possession. And you see Dickon, he's just looking downfield being rushed. He fires it up there, I believe, for Bonner, but Chapman sees the throw. He turns on it and makes the catch.
That was a heck of a catch.
Yeah. Well, only because it looks like he's the center fielder that doesn't know which way to go for the ball, and he's circling it back and forth. Then he comes down with the grab on top of 3-4 bodies. Gets banged up a little bit, but still makes the grab.
Jamie McGurty loves that ice on top of his head. He loves that.
He's not even a hothead where he needs to cool himself down.
Right.
He's usually a player under control. Oh, that's...
All right, we're set. Onside kick time for the Rush. Gispert does a couple of them. The high bounder, and Grand Rapids will get it at the Rush 14-yard line.
Well, you kicked it to the guy you wanted to handle it, Israel Raybon. But Raybon just tucked it right into his boiler, his belly, where there certainly is a lot of padding, and it landed softly. This is the way they do it. The kicker beats it. Gispert beats it into the ground, puts it up in the air so you can't fair catch it. McMillan was there. James Barron was there. These guys needed to see where the ball was and take Raybon out on that play. But both of the guys they didn't see the ball, didn't recognize where it was at, and didn't make a play on it.
Dozell fades back, looks, steps, throws, and it is incomplete, but a flag goes down. Cornelius Bonner may have been called for a penalty here. Let's wait and see.
Bump and run coverage. You open yourself up to the fact that you might interfere with them. And I think there was a lot of hand fighting going on.
pass interference, defense, number 9. After this is the goal, automatic first down.
So first and goal now at the 6.
I think there's a lot of hand fighting in the initial chucks up onto the side of the boards. That's what they were calling. And what we saw at the end of the play, the interference had already happened.
Gotcha. Trip receivers to the near side. Chris Avery is the fullback. He scored 4 touchdowns this year, and hold it, there was a fumble, but they stopped play before the snap could count. And the penalty is
Encroachment, defense, contact, number 95. After this is the goal, automatic first down.
Boy, the Rush just killing themselves here.
Well, with 53 seconds left, they're moving closer to the goal line. It's not a bad gamble to take to try to time a snap, see if you can't cause some problems on the QB center exchange. And if you do and they put it on the carpet, you got the ball back.
And you got a shot.
Still with plenty of time on the clock. So it's not a bad gamble. But if they score here, trying to score twice.
Yeah, in under a minute, it's going to be tough. Marshall gets it, and he does just that. He does go in across the left end. Willis Marshall with a rushing touchdown. And now Grand Rapids is pretty well putting this game in the toaster. This one's just about done.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to move to 6-3, and Chicago Rush might move to 3-6. Now, I've seen plenty of scoring in the Arena Football League in the last second. So with 48 seconds left and 1 minute timing rules in effect, you get another 2-play drive for the Chicago Rush. You put yourself in that onside situation again.
Gowan's on to attempt the extra point. Good snap, good hold, and the kick is right through the upright.
Grand Rapids 48, Chicago 34.
Just a little handoff to the receiver who comes back in motion. You get the extra blocker. The individual that has to make the play is Marcus McKenzie off the backside. And he's not a defender by nature, so he's a little bit slower to react to that type of play. He takes a bad angle, and by the time he does catch up to Marshall, Marshall's already in the end zone.
So 48-34 now, Grand Rapids with the lead. Let me tell you about the people who helped bring you this game. This one was produced by Mike Leary. Our director, the director of the Millennium, is James Angio. Associate producer Tamara Anderson. Production manager Moheen Ramsey. Executive producer Joshua Wine. And the vice president of programming at Fox Sports Net is Don Graham.
You think Chapman could bring this one back? You predicted
he could.
The last one.
He could.
You predicted the last one, so I'm wondering if you're going to make the prediction.
You know what? I think that'll be tough because I think that's the one thing that they're going to prevent.
I would even look for a line drive kick, something tough to handle, something maybe they can get to the boards before Chapman can get over and make the grab.
Gowans has got a lot of kicks in his repertoire. And it is a low line drive that bounces out of bounds. And it will be a touchback brought back to the 5-yard line.
That was a key play on whether the ball would get brought out to the 20 or if it gets brought out to the 5. If that ball goes out of bounds first, that ball's on the 20-yard line, it's an easier chance for the Rush to score from the 20. If it's at the 5, you got an extra 15 yards you have to throw.
The kick is ruled as a kick out of bounds. Ball will be placed at the 20-yard line, first down.
The Rush coaches came out and I think said the same thing. And so now you gain 15 yards.
And now it's not that tough of a throw. It's not a bomb. You could throw a 25-yard strike to a player streaking down the field and get him into the end zone.
Brian Gowan's out arguing the point, but it doesn't matter because the Rush have it. Chapman and Bonner are wide to the near side. Ladd is on the far side. Billy fades back. We got a penalty. Marker thrown. Ladd's got it across the 20. Makes a move at the 15. And flag goes down.
The Rampage had 9 players on the field.
That's too many.
One too many guys on the field.
Our Fifth Third Bank hardworking player of the game is that man right there, Antonio Chapman. AC has had a good ball game, returned to kickoff for a touchdown, and has been the man on several receptions. So our fifth third bank hardworking player of the game is Antonio Chapman.
Well deserved.
Deserved?
Deserved. Well deserved. I like to throw that on as
Is that like dessert?
Yeah, almost. Almost.
I like dessert too.
Oh, I could use some right now. Peanut butter parfait would be
you're
nice.
killing me. You're killing me. All right, Mr. Official, tell us.
Unsportsmanlike on the defense. 9 men on the field. The penalties refused. First down.
So they'll take the result of the play. Okay.
5 guys in the box, 4 defensive backs. I'm surprised Ladd could be as open as he was.
Yeah, and he was. That's a good point. So the Rush have it. Clock running as Billy fades back. He'll look into the end zone. He's got Ladd, but instead throws an interception. Willis Marshall with the catch. And that, boys and girls, will do it. He threw that ball right to Willis Marshall.
Read the eyes. Willis Marshall just sitting back. The ball's thrown. It was thrown right to him, right in his hands. He couldn't help but catch him. There you see Willis Marshall just right at the top in the middle linebacker position. The jack, you're reading the eyes. It hit him in the helmet. It hit Willis Marshall right in the helmet. He had to catch the ball.
Or he might have been knocked out if he hadn't.
Caught it in self-defense.
So with 30 seconds left now, Grand Rapids can pretty well run this baby out. Dolezal checks in under center. Shaw, the motion man. Dolezal fades back. Quick throw goes out to the side. It's caught. Oh, and a good move put on. Dante Brown just pushed Cornelius Bonner out of the way. Ladd is the one who eventually makes the tackle. The ball is at the 8-yard line.
34 points by the Chicago Rush, the second lowest output for them offensively this year.
And the Rush are not going to stop the clock.
Against Indiana, they scored 23 points, and now they scored 34 points in this game.
Grand Rapids will not have to run another play. They will move to 6-3. The Rampage with the win here at home. And Grand Rapids with the win. The Rush will fall to 3-6. We'll take a break, come back. Health South postgame show is coming up, including our Gibson's on-field interview. Stick around. This is Chicago Rush football.
Chicago Rush Arena football was brought to you by Allstate Insurance. The right hands make all the difference. Fifth Third Bank, working hard to be the only bank you'll ever need. Dominic's, offering you quality, selection, and value. Health South, the official healthcare provider of the Chicago Rush. And by Gino's East in Rosemont, home of Chicago's highest scoring deep dish pizza.
48-34 our final score. The Rampage with the win. And head coach Mike Hohensee is alongside. And Mike, boy, you guys had a couple shots in there, and it just was not meant to be tonight.
Yeah, you just can't. I thought our defense played a great game, and you just can't give those guys extra opportunities. We didn't play very well offensively.
Mike, one offensive touchdown in the second half. It looked like early you tried to run some crossing routes at different levels, and it was working for you. Why didn't it continue to work for you?
I don't know. I think Billy was having an off night towards the end there. I think he made some good throws. He's playing well enough to keep him in there at times. Then he'd throw one that wonder where it came from. I don't know. We're gonna have to go back and look at the film, see what happened.
And special teams wise, Antonio Chapman, he provides a little bit of a spark.
Yep.
Is that the area you're going to have to look at to provide some more offense for you?
Hopefully not.
Well, I hope
we got to go
either.
back and we just that last play we throw an interception. Ladd's open. He beats his guy, and for some reason he throws it number level to the linebacker. I don't know. He said he felt okay, and at times he threw some great balls, but at times he threw some poor ones.
Yeah, he did. He had some great throws, but it just seemed like a couple key ones that just went almost right to the defenders. And obviously right now, you've got to go back, look at some film, and figure out what to do, because you're going right back on the road, Mike. It doesn't get any easier. You're going to Detroit and then Colorado. This is a tough 3-game stretch for you. And when you and I talked about it, you said, boy, if we could come out of this 2-1, we'd really be in great shape.
Yeah, the good thing is we have a couple good things to build on. I thought defensively, again, we played very well in special teams. We've got to continue to play at a high level in those areas and work offensively to try to make something happen.
All right, Mike, we appreciate you stopping by. Good luck next week, buddy.
Thanks.
It's head coach Mike Hohensee, and as you can hear in his voice, he's not very pleased, but That's the way it goes.
There's not a ton of answers you can provide either. It's tough when you're a head coach trying to find answers. Defense plays great. Offense struggles. You need more offense, and you've got the weapons, but you've got to be able to utilize it.
That was our Gibson's on-field interview. Head coach Mike Hohensee, the guy involved. We appreciate him stopping by again. And, boy, that's a tough one. Rush goes down to defeat 48-34. This concludes our coverage of the Chicago Rush football game. Be sure to check out the Rush Sunday, April 20th. They'll take on the Dallas Desperados at Allstate Arenas. Game starts at 2. Get your tickets right now. For Yurko, I'm Tom Dorr. So long from Van Andel Arena. Grand Rapids wins it 48-34. Oh, tough one. The preceding has been an exclusive presentation of Fox Sports Net and WAUR Radio. Thanks for listening and watching. Rush go down to defeat. See you next week. Good night, everybody.